Hello everyone, this is Logan59XP here, and of course we are here for the obvious. The second Air Riders Direct is finally here, and of course I was here for the first one, so we're here for the second one. Like I said, like I said I would. I mean, we knew this was coming, right? I mean, obviously this was announced in the September Direct, but like even at the end of the first Air Riders Direct, when Sakurai showed us that little tease of what I'm pretty sure is supposed to be like the story slash adventure mode, it's like, okay, there might be enough content that we'll get a whole other Direct out of this. Like, maybe it'll just be a part of the September Direct, which of course ended up not being a part of the September Direct. All we got in the September Direct for Air Riders was amiibos, that was it, and the announcement that, of course, this was coming. But point is, I am not surprised that we ended up getting a second presentation. I think it's cool that we're getting one, but what's interesting is that this one is even longer than the first one was. Now, the first one, I believe, was around 45 minutes. This one is 60. Now, I'm sure half of that is going to be Sakurai sitting there with his controller playing the game, but still. But yeah, in terms of expectations, I mean, yeah, the story slash adventure mode thing that was clearly being teased in that CG cinematic from last time. That's really it. That's like all I actually am expecting out of this. So that's really all I gotta say as far as that's concerned. Hey Antonia, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you as always. How am I doing today? I'm doing fine, doing fine. Stayed up all night once again. And as I have probably said way too many times at this point, I am not thrilled that I have to keep doing it like this, but I don't have a choice. Because waking up, because like going to bed at like 9 o'clock and waking up at like 5:30 is not happening. It's just so not happening. So my only option is to just stay up all night. And as I've also said a million times at this point, that used to not bother me as much. This year though, especially, it's really starting to like, okay, now I'm like actually like really starting to be annoyed that I have to do this. I will, obviously, hence why I'm here. But man, I really wish Nintendo would do more 2 p.m. directs like they used to like 4 or 5 years ago. Or like, yeah, we'd have a 6 a.m. direct, then we would have a 2 p.m. direct, and they would kind of like alternate back and forth. Like, that's what I want. You know, so Japan gets their time zone advantage, and we get our time zone advantage. You know, we trade places as opposed to Japan, you know, getting the good time slot every single time. And us here on, like, the West Coast especially, now you just gotta stay up all night or wake up really early. Well, I mean, I guess 6 o'clock isn't, for some people, isn't considered, quote, really early. I mean, maybe that'd be like 2 or 3 or 4. I don't know. But you get my point. But enough about all that. We've run that completely into the ground. Like me complaining about the whole, you know, why don't we get any more directs at 2 p.m. is become the new the Smash video. Yeah, it's totally coming out. Absolutely, totally. It's just kind of become that. But anyway. So yeah, but aside from but I'm doing fine though. Otherwise. Everything's a-okay. As you can see from the taskbar, I am still on Windows 10, as you can see. Obviously, I've done a couple of posts, community posts about the new Office icons, which you can see down there. Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, but Publisher and Access still do not have the new icons. Although, as I actually updated, I did do an update for the last community post. Office 2021 and 2024 now have the new core icons, so that's cool. But Access and Publisher are still missing icons, and like I said in that post, Publisher is probably not going to get one because it's being discontinued next year, so that one's always going to be a little weird, although it won't matter in the long run. But Access does have a new icon. It does have one. It's just not on the app itself yet. But anyway, have I played any new Nintendo games yet? No, I have not. In fact, I have not played the Switch 2 in any real capacity in a few months, to be honest. I've been kind of like, you know, I had my fill of Mario Kart, and I was like, okay, I'm going to let Mario Kart sit there so I don't burn myself out on it. And, you know, but I'll pick it up again when we get new DLC or maybe when DK comes out or whatever. I never ended up getting DK. I'm going to get DK, to be clear. I'm going to get that game eventually. I'm absolutely going to. It's just not high on the priority list right now. And then, of course, this game is coming out, and I'm probably going to end up getting it just because it's the next Sakurai game, but still, we'll see. Galaxy 2, I still don't have that yet. I'm still kind of like debating whether or not I really want to do 40 for the digital or just say screw it and pay the 70 for the physical and deal with the fact that it's 70 for the physical. But at least I get the new version of Galaxy 1, I suppose, for whatever that's worth. But anyway, here we go. I really like this theme song, by the way. I really like this theme song. I'm very curious if that's Abby Trott or not. It's probably not. I don't think it is at this point, but it'd be kind of cool if it was, just for the synergy. Yes, it really is that long. Yeah, somehow he's going to spend 60 more minutes talking about this game. Now again, I'm sure that like half of this is going to be him just like playing the game, but still. But he covered like, yeah, all of the main stuff last time. Covered City Trial, the races, all that stuff. So let's see what he has in store. Oh yeah, I do remember people talking about that. Like, is that in the game or not? It's gonna be added later. It's gonna be added later. Right? It's gonna be added later. Or not? Okay, wait. Okay, because the way he was setting that up made it sound like it's a we're gonna have it available shortly after launch type thing, but maybe that's not the case. I'm not sure. We'll see. Hey Valentine, glad to see you. So just right off the bat, this is literally the first thing we're seeing. So this I know people were talking about this after the last Air Riders Direct, like, is this mode going to be in the game, because he didn't show it off. It is. Although the way he kind of set it up made it sound like maybe this would be a, oh yes, it is in the game, but not like at launch, is what it sounded like, but we don't know that yet. I mean, the fact that he's playing it right now makes me think that no, this is going to be like in the game at launch. It's just that the way he set it up made it sound like it might not, but anyway. So yeah, this presentation is going to be 60 minutes long, which he, by the way, addressed like literally immediately. Like literally the first line he says in the presentation is, wait, the presentation is how long? Even with all the stuff we talked about last time? That's literally the first line he says. Those new Kirby models would look clean in the Smash style. Yeah, like they could like yeah, all of these like new models, you know, they definitely would fit right in, I think. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, actually, one thing I'm kind of curious about is, like, so the Kirby model, right? Like, is that Kirby model, like, the ultimate model, or is that a new model? Because, like, DDD is not the ultimate model, because DDD's design is a bit different. So that's definitely not his ultimate model. But Kirby is Kirby. Kirby hasn't changed in, like, forever. That could easily be his ultimate model, like, at least, like, retooled. Not that it matters either way, but obviously, I mean, you could tell by the UI, like, just like the aesthetic, how much this game obviously lifts from Ultimate. You can show me Kirby from 10 years ago. Okay, you want to know a great example of this? This is one of, like, the iconic moments. One of the iconic Smash trailer moments. Remember the reveal trailer for Brawl from 2006? Maybe you remember seeing it, like, because it was included in Brawl, like in like the movie section and stuff. That original reveal trailer where they have like the Melee characters and they transition into the Brawl versions. And you see Mario and he transforms, and you see Link and he transforms, and then you see Pikachu and he transforms, and then you see Kirby, and Kirby literally doesn't change at all. Like everyone else, you know, Mario Melee to Brawl, huge change. Link Melee to Brawl, huge change. Pikachu, smaller, but still a change. And then Kirby literally is identical. Literally exactly the same. Like, Kirby is, like, by design, literally supposed to be, like, the most simplistic character ever. So his design has literally never changed in, like, the 30-plus years he's existed. So yeah, showing off more of the, yeah, this is called, what, the Top Ride mode, I believe is what it was called. So yeah, apparently this was like a, yeah, like a mode that existed in the original that he didn't show in the last Direct. But I know people were like, hey, I'm wondering, like, if that's going to be in this game or not, because people were like, yeah, that's like the one mode he hasn't really showed yet. Like, is it going to be in the game, or maybe it's not worth putting in or whatever, but they're putting it in, so everyone should be good with that.
R スティックでカメラをある程度いじれます。コース全域を画面に入れることもできます。全員で同じ画面を共有して1画面プレイもできますね。前作発売当時よりもテレビのサイズが上がっているので、小さい表示でも無理のない環境もできるかも。I
know I said this like all the time, like in the last Air Riders Direct, but man, like the UI is so ultimate. Yeah, that's not a bad thing at all. It's just, it's so, like, you can't not see it. Like, the menus, everything, it's so ultimate. Like, actually, what I'm saying, it's actually the original Kirby Air Ride, like, the original GameCube game. That UI is this really interesting fusion of, like, very clearly based on the Melee UI, but also has a lot of, like, Brawl touches, like, you know, years before Brawl came out. Like, it uses some of, like, the fonts and color palettes you would see in Brawl. So it's kind of this interesting, like, fusion of, like, Melee and, like, a proto-Brawl, pre-Brawl. You know, whereas this game, obviously, is very much, like, just a direct continuation, essentially, of the Ultimate UI, more or less. I mean, it's not 100% the same, obviously. There are some things, small things here and there, but it's very, very, very much based on it. So they have, like, filters. Of course. Now the question is the online? That's the question. Because remember, this is the same team as Ultimate and Smash 4 making this. So we'll see. I mean, granted, this will probably be fine. Yeah, split. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. I don't think they said split screen last time around, as some people are worried about split screen. So there's split screen confirmed. So that's great. I mean, we knew it was. I mean, it was gonna be in the game. It was gonna be in the game, but they didn't show it last time. So. Yeah, of course, all the obligatory controllers work. あと余談ですが、エアライドやシティトライアルでは2人画面なら縦横分割を選ぶことも可能です。こういう対応は That top-down view game looks like a modern Smash minigame. Yeah, it kind of, yeah, it kind of does actually. It kind of feels like, yeah, we don't really have a strict equivalent of that. But like, okay, remember Smash 3DS had that Street Smash mode? Like, it's kind of like that. Like, so that's like the closest equivalent. I mean, obviously it's not at all the same thing, but I don't know, that's the closest equivalent. So, is this gonna be like a Mario Kart World type deal, but I don't know, that doesn't really sound like what that is. That's not...
チャレンジイベント系など多彩なお題が待っています
Nah. Because if it was like Mario Kart World, then there would be an open world. They haven't said that yet. There's also been no indication that that's a thing either.
ニューマシンを入手したり
It's just that, like, when he says, like, you're... Whatever, I'll just let the gameplay speak for itself. Instead of just speculating when it's on the dang screen.
途中でシリーズゆかりのキャラクターを拾えるのですがその助けによって次に分岐するステージが決まります
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's something I expect to see from the next Smash game.
そして突如訪れる
Okay, so that's the guy from the teaser last time around.
旅のきっかけはまた後ほど
So wait. Okay, so we're gonna see more of that later. So I think that's the like adventure mode thing that they teased. Hey, look, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. Remember that game? I remember that game. I'm one of the two people that probably remember it because it was like the only Kirby game that came out on the Wii U, and it was like a spin-off. But I remember it, and I remember that paintbrush character. Okay, this is really neat, the computer virus. Anything in a game or media that does like those old school computer windows is immediately a win.
まず何をするにしてもライセンスを作ります
Oh, global wind power! That sounds very familiar. Global power, where have I seen that in a Sakurai game before?
素材はキラキラを入れたりシールを自由に貼れたりして
That's kind of neat. I mean, that's more than you get in Smash. You don't get a whole card that you can like put images on and stuff. You can pick like an icon and like a color. That's all you get in Smash. You get a whole card in this game.
オンラインにおけるお友達などとの合流場所になるのがパドックですいわゆる専用部屋こうなります
Oh yeah, I've been wondering how like the online for this is gonna work.
パドック内をライダーで直接歩くことができますライダーごとに一つ一つの歩行やジャンプを作るのは手間がかかったけれど活かせてよかったビュッフェがあったり駐機場があったりしますけれどここではプレイヤーが集まり対戦のセッションを組んだり簡単なやり取りができます
So I guess what I want to know is this gonna... Can you do it the way you do Smash, where you have like an ID, and you just like enter in the ID, and then you can join like the lobby? Like, that's the main thing I want to know. Is like the ID system in this. It probably is, but because that's obviously what I would like in the event that becomes relevant.
一つのパドックの中で複数のセッションが同時進行していることがあります端末から状態が見られますので好きなレースに参加してくださいあらかじめマシンとライダーを決めておくと良いですなお参加待ちの時はパドックの中で好きにしていて良いです準備が整ったらお呼びがかかります
It's a jukebox.
ケーキの上に乗るのも自由流れる音楽を変えることもできます
What a surprise! It looks like my music. So they have essentially my music built into like the lobby. They'll probably have all the music from the original. I don't see why they wouldn't. So here's something that's also kind of interesting about the first game. So the first game, like, the melee versions of Green Greens and Fountain of Dreams are in the first air ride. sorta. Like, Green Greens is almost identical. It's almost identical. But it's ever so slightly different. But Fountain of Dreams is very much based on the Melee version, but it's kind of like a MIDI version of it, if that makes any sense. Like, you know how there's, for Dragon Quest, there's like the orchestral version, then there's like the MIDI version? Like, that's kind of what it is. Like, Melee is the orchestral version, and Air Ride gets like the MIDI version. But they're very clearly like based on the same thing. If that makes, like, yeah. So yeah, global smash power is now global win power. I think he's been using that, like, exact, like, way to show it for, like, 10 years. Where he shows, like, all the Miis in a big line, and then he points out, hey, I this one specific Mii. He has done that since Smash 4. I distinctly remember back in, like, 2014 when they first announced Global Smash Power. That is exactly how he showed it. He has kept it the same this entire time. He's never changed it.
高ければ偉いというものでもないのです。ただ、クラスを高めると街に多少の変化が起こりやすくなるかもしれません。エアライド、ウェライド、シティトライアルのそれぞれにクラスがあることにご注意を。
So yeah, these are new tracks we haven't seen before. This is one we saw before. Oh, this is a remix of the Marks theme. But for some reason, he's not telling us what the name of this specific track is. Oh, here we go. Here's the music. He's going to confirm it. It's available in the jukebox, right? Oh yeah, Checker Nights is a very good one. Of course you can.
あっさり白状しましたけど、こういうのを作ってみたんですけど。曲どころか前作にあったエアライドコースが復活。
Oh! Okay, that's a double win. This game might just obsolete the original. This might obsolete the original completely. Like, you know how, like, Melee makes 64, like, completely irrelevant? Like, sure, it doesn't have it doesn't have every stage from that game, but, like, Melee is just, like, obviously, like, it just obsoletes 64, right? This game might very well obsolete the original Air Ride. For like most people, this will just obsolete it. If they just bring back like all the stuff from that first game that people like, then like why would you play the original at that point? Yeah, Frozen Hillside. That music is used in Subspace during like when you're climbing up like the icy mountain. That's at least where I recognize it from, because again, I didn't play Air Ride back in the day, so any Air Ride music I know because of, like, Subspace. When they play it in Subspace. And I know Frozen Hillside is one of them. Yeah, Checker Nights, this is another iconic music track. See, I didn't think they were gonna recreate like all of, like, I don't know if it's literally all of them, but like oh, all of them. Okay. Okay, so there's so that's what the CSS looks like. Far cry from what we're used to in Smash now, is it? That's really cool, though. So basically, if you've never played the original like me, then now you have no reason to play the original because all of the everything's just in this new one. So this is like Air Ride Ultimate. Like unironically, this is literally Air Ride Ultimate. Everything is in this game. There's no reason to play the original. So yeah, so you get all of the tracks from the original, and then there's like, so I think, what was it, 9 tracks from the original, and then they'll put then there's 9 new tracks. I wonder if they'll put the original in NSO just because I thought about that. Because Air Ride, because here's the thing about Air Ride, right? Air Ride is a game that it's like a niche game, right? Like it's not a big system. It wasn't a big seller on the GameCube. I know the GameCube wasn't exactly a system seller, but like even for the GameCube, you know, this game was very much a niche game. It has its fans, but it was never like one of the big popular games. You know, it's no Melee, it's no Sunshine, it's no Double Dash, it's no Thousand Year Door, right? So maybe putting on NSO would make sense because a lot of people haven't played the original, but at the same time, if the new one obsoletes the original, then why would they put the original out? At least right now. Maybe a few years down the line, I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool. To be clear, it'd be cool if they put it out on NSO. I just don't think they will. At first, I thought maybe it would make sense, but now I think it wouldn't make sense for them to do that. So one thing we have not seen yet, and I'm sure we'll see this when he shows off more of like the adventure mode later, but like in the tease last time around, like we saw like a shot of Kirby on like a cliff from below. That was clearly a direct like recreation of like the opening to the original game. So I'm kind of curious, and I think that was from the quote adventure mode. At least it looked like it was, but maybe that's just the new opening. But that's a part of the new opening, which we also haven't seen yet. I got the theme song again. We're 22 minutes in. We still got like 40 minutes left. We've gotten the return of that top-down mode. All of the tracks from the original are in the game. We have that story adventure mode. Okay, I'm very happy with this. I'm very happy that Sandbag is in this. That's the closest thing you're getting to Smash 6 in this direct, so you better enjoy it. But hey, I'll take it. Oh, and of course, they gotta have the pieces, which are from this series, by the way. Like, this is not from Smash. Like, these pieces are from Air Ride. That's why they were in Brawl, because they were in Air Ride. So Air Riders is basically... It's basically a remake of the original with more stuff added to it. I don't think I would call it that. It's definitely a sequel, but it's a sequel that, again, kind of like Melee was, basically makes the original obsolete. Like, sure, 64 had a couple of, you know, obviously 64. I mean, some of the stages came back in Melee, but not all of them did. But generally speaking, like Melee was just the far superior game, right? Like, in many ways, it really is the first. Like for me, I think a lot of people like Smash starts with Melee. Like 64 is like the alpha. It's like the beta prototype, and Melee is the first like real game in the series. But this game, unlike Melee, like again, it has all of the maps from the original. So and it has City Trial, and it has the top-down. Like, it has literally basically everything from the original that people would want, on top of a bunch of new stuff. Why would you play the original outside of, like, nostalgia or whatever? But my point is, it is a sequel, the same way that Melee was a sequel, but it's a sequel that obsoletes the game that came before it.
それぞれのメンバーが普通に4つのスタジアムから選ぶようにすると、チームメンバーだけが全員同じ競技に入るなどの談合ができるので、ここは公平に。ところでチーム戦とは関係ないのですが、スカイアには空中庭園とは別に浮島が遠くに介在することがあります。飛行マシンや飛行に有利な能力を使えばなんとか届くかもしれませんね。一つのチャレンジ要素です。
Showing us more of, what was it called? Skya? Yeah. Obviously, we saw a lot of this in the last Direct, but people are going to be spending a lot of time here, so we may as well see more of it. Ooh, that's cool. There's, oh, that, so there's like the versus mark area, or whatever the heck, that also looks a lot like, what was it called? The Edge of Creation from the end of FF7 Remake Part 1, right? Like, that, it totally has that background. So yeah, more characters. I'm guessing this is a character from one of the newer games, because I don't recognize them at all. I mean, I know some of the characters from the newer games, but... Okay, I know these guys. These guys are... They were in Kirby Right Back At Ya, and I believe they're also from, like, a different HAL series that came out, like, before Kirby. Or maybe I'm mistaking them for a different character. You can go inside buildings. Pokemon take them. NES game, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think. Forget what. It's like a. Yeah, it was like a puzzle game series on the NES. Rock. In this game, you can play as a rock. Cool, the hamster. I'm actually very happy about that. Yeah, that's another one that makes sense. See, I'm more recognizable, iconic characters here. Oh, there's Marks. I mean, that was inevitable, considering it, like, I heard a remix of his theme earlier. Waddle Dee. Just plain old Waddle Dee, not the Bandana D. Just plain old Waddle Dee. May as well, right?
マシンの中でも特に変わり種を説明しておきます。その名も変身スター。滑空ができるスター型と走行有利なバイク型。それを合わせてみたら。
See, now, again, like, I'm curious, like, is that Mark's model, like, the one from Ultimate? Or is it a new model? I mean, it looks like it could be the Ultimate model to me.
何よりかっこよし。より高度なコース攻略が楽しめますね。他のマシンも紹介します。
I think last time around I called these, like, carts half the time, because I can't help myself. Hey, look, these are all the new carts. Riders. That's what they're actually called. That's still weird to me that we didn't get DLC announced in the September Direct for World. That feels very weird. Like, it's obviously coming. They just chose not to announce it for some reason.
今回もライダー自身は喋りません。まあ、キノコとか謎の生き物とかいますし、マシン主体のゲームであれこれ叫ばれるのも。
Here's the remix of the main theme from the original.
ただ、マシンの断末魔がなんとなく
Like, is that gonna be the is that gonna be the menu theme again? I'm fine with that. I like the menu theme in the original, but like, I mean, they wouldn't have done the remix otherwise. So I'm guessing that remix of the menu. I'm guessing that remix of the menu is the main menu of this game as well. The DK Gate DLC verse was crazy. Yeah, it really was. Like, no one saw that coming. Oh, that's cool. You can pick announcers. You can't do that in Smash. If you want to hear the other, language announcers, you have to change the language of the whole game.
女性声優は大本真紀子さん。どちらもカービーゆかりの声優さんですね。ゲームを彩ってくれます。そしてコピー能力。
Also having a male and female announcer, that's also new. At least if we're talking about like Smash, that's definitely. But yeah, DK Gang DLC before. Wait, I just saw My Music. They literally had My Music. It's still called My Music. That's funny. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's literally called My Music still. But yeah, DK Gang DLC before Mario Kart. I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card. But like, it's less so the fact that DK got DLC like announced. It's more so that like that Mario Kart didn't get anything announced at all. Like, it'd be one thing if they announced DK DLC and it still came out like later today or whatever. But then they also announced Mario Kart DLC coming November. That'd be fine. Now the problem is that they announced DK DLC, put it out on the same day, and then just didn't say one single peep about Mario Kart. They just pretended the game didn't exist. Like, that was the baffling part. Like, this is Mario Kart. This is like your top three. This is like one of your biggest franchises, like one of your flagship franchises. This was the big launch game for the system. It's why a lot of people had to get it day one, like me. And then you're just gonna like not tell us about stuff that's obviously coming? Like, I don't really get it. Like, that makes me think that we're not gonna get anything until like next year. Like, early next year, like January, February, but still. That feels wrong to me. Like, maybe if we're... this is so not happening. But, like, maybe at the Game Awards we'll get a shadow drop? No, that is so not happening. But actually, you know what they could do? They could totally just announce it out of nowhere. They could just be like 4 days from now, they could just drop it at like 6 in the morning, just random trailer. Oh, here's the first DLC, first big update, whatever, coming out next week or whatever. Like, they could just totally surprise us. They've done that before, but I feel like Mario Kart is big enough that like it should be like announced in like a proper event. We'll get the DLC eventually. It's obviously coming. But it is weird that they didn't even tease it. They didn't even say, "Hey, we're not ready to show it yet, but it's coming." They didn't even do that. Like, they just ignored its existence completely. It's like the grand star of Warp Stars.
おまけにスモークを焚けるようにしました。スペシャルボタンで出すことができ、空に軌跡を描きます。
People are definitely gonna try and draw stuff with that.
一応ポーズメニューから撮影モードなんていうのもあります。これはどんなモードでも使えます。
How long do you think it's gonna take until people draw stuff with that. Like, what, 0.1 seconds?
ここでいくつかシティトライアルのイベントをご紹介しておきます。
1 hour tops. This track also sounds familiar. I couldn't tell you what exactly it's from, but it definitely is something I recognize. Probably something from the original game. Seems like they're announcing something every minute. Oh, whoa! The Halberds in this. Okay. I'm down with that. Even makes the background into that, like, kind of signature color. I mean, it's not quite the sunsetty look of what it looks like in Smash, but it's, you know, you get the idea. Yeah, yeah, this presentation is definitely not dragging at all. Paced pretty well, I think. Like, we're getting a lot of stuff here. Like, I was expecting this to be more of, like, I was expecting this to be, like, 20 minutes of announcing stuff, and then, like, 40 minutes of him, like, playing the game. But that's not really what's happening. He's consistently, like, showing us stuff we haven't seen before. Okay, so I think he just showed an option similar to what you have in Smash, where you can, like, turn on and off stages. You can, like, turn on and off, like, the mini games you get or whatever. I think that's what he's showing right now. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised too. I mean, I knew the game. I mean, look. I knew Sakurai was not going to return to his baby after 20 years and put out something that wasn't, like, good. Like, the game was going to be good, right? This is Kirby, right? This is Kirby. He's not going to come back to Kirby after 20 years and not put out something that's good, at the bare minimum. But I didn't think that there would be this much either. Like, I expected, like, all the stuff, you know, all of the main stuff from, like, the last game would come back. But I didn't think there would be, like, as much new stuff as there is. I also didn't expect him to bring back every track from the original. I mean, there's only 9. I mean, it's not quite like it is with Smash. You know, Smash has, like, you know, 100-something stages. You know, this game only has, like, 8. The original, that is. So, I mean, it's not the same hurdle, but still. I figured maybe, like, 1 or 2 tracks from the original would come back, not all of them. That's the Brawl remix. He's playing the Brawl remix.
バイクに乗ったデデデにかなり手を焼いた方もおられると思います。
I think that's the first piece of, like, actual Smash music we've heard in any of these Kirby Directs. I mean, okay, that's not technically a Smash original track, but that's a Smash remix! That's the Brawl remix that was made for Brawl that we just heard, so I'll count that as close enough. Robo DDD.
デデデ型と車型に変形します。ボスバトルは参加者全員でボスを倒す遊びになります。勝利に向かってみんなで頑張れる。 ボス戦においては相手をロックオンしてカメラを向けることができます。
We got about 25 minutes left still?
R スティック押し込みで切り替えることができるので。
We're at the 40-minute mark, about.
そして
So yeah.
録音時の操作をウェライドと同じ形式で2通りから選ぶことができます。ポーズメニューからも変えられますのでお好みで。ボスの位置はロックオンしていた方が分かりやすいですが、周囲の
I was gonna say I could definitely see a Metal Gear Subspace type boss coming into the game. Yeah, this is kind of like, yeah, this is basically like this game's equivalent of Gallium. It's Gallium, right? Because there's Galeem, right, from Ultimate, and then there's Gallium, the guy from Brawl. That's also in Ultimate. I forgot he's in World of Light as well, but yeah, the one from Brawl though. That's basically what RoboDD is. It's like this game's equivalent of that.
クリアチェッカー今回もあります。
This is the accomplishments thing, right?
何らかのお題を果たすとバンバンめくれて
Yeah. So this is very familiar. This was in the original game, and this is, of course, has been in like the last couple of Smashes. Like this was in Brawl. This was in Smash 4. It wasn't in Ultimate in like this exact form. It was a little different, but like yeah, all of the last few Smashes have had like this, the thing where you gotta get all the stuff in, right?
なおエアライド
And you unlock stuff.
シティトライアルロードトリップオンラインの5つのシートがあります。何か裏に絵があるような。オンラインのシートは遊びたくない人は遊ばなくても良いと思います。
That's good. That's good. Now, he did that for Ultimate as well. He didn't put anything behind the online thing in Ultimate, so I wouldn't expect him to do that. But he's future-proofing the game, right? Because obviously if you put something like, if you put like actual content behind the online one, then like in 20 years when the online shuts down, you're screwed unless you hack the game. So, so yeah. He is... I'm glad he's continuing that trend he did with Ultimate, not putting anything behind the online tab, so it's completely optional.
それも遊び手の工夫かなと。
I mean, I knew this wasn't gonna happen, but I think I said this in the last Kirby Direct, that, like, it wasn't going to happen, but I personally would have liked to have seen, like, some oh my god, why am I butchering the name? Kirby right back Gatya characters, Escargot or Tiff and Tuff, just a little acknowledgement that show existed, that would have been... I would have even settled for them being in the background of, like, one of the maps or something. But, oh well. Okay, now that's new. That's new. You have to unlock the color swaps. They're not unlocked by default. That's new. At least again compared to like Smash. And you can customize your machine and put stickers and stuff on it. Okay.
こんな感じで楽しめます。
I'm sure you get those stickers and stuff, by, obviously it's in that big checklist. The claw game from Kirby's Adventure.
デコレーションしたマシンは俺マシンと言います。柄、デカール、アクセサリー、エフェクトといった要素でいろんな飾り付けができます。柄もデカールも
So, yeah, that's cool. Bunch of customization stuff. It's always nice to have.
そして少し変わった要素ですが、オンラインに俺マシン市場というものがあります。これは誰かがデザインしたマシンをマシンごと買えるもの。
Okay, so kind of like how, you know, obviously in Smash you can like download people's like Mii's and stuff. Well, this game's equivalent of it, but the difference is that you buy people's stuff as opposed to just downloading. But by buying it, not like buying it like with actual, you know, currency, they mean like, you know, with the in-game gold or whatever.
売れてもお金が儲かるわけではありませんが、値段の変動は面白いですね。マシンを飾り付けられるのだからライダーも飾りたい、おしゃれしたい、そんな願いにお応えしてライダーの帽子も用意しました。
I mean, it is Kirby after all. You may as well put a bunch of stuff on him. Could have made so much that they did the equivalent of CS2 patterns and knives on guns. Oh man, people would have flipped out about that. I'm very much glad we're not in that timeline. Less so because I would personally care, more so just because everyone would just complain about it like crazy. Not that I'd buy any of that anyway, but anyway.
ところでこれはゲーム中の要素ですが、スペシャルボタンを連打するとコピー能力をすぐに捨てられます。覚えておくと良いでしょう。ところで俺マシンのデコレーションや帽子はどうやってゲットするのでしょう。
No microtransactions to be found here.
お金になるのがマイルです。ゲームで走っているととにかくマイルがたまります。走れば走るほど儲かります。放置プレイは効きませんけど、これはマイルショップで使えます。マシンやそのデコレーションパーツ。
So yeah, there's a shop where you can buy stuff just like in Smash. Again, I mean, like, duh, but yeah. You can buy music tracks, you can buy all those stickers and plushies and all the stuff.
グミです。マシンの形のグミがありますね。全種類のマシンがあります。
Okay.
これはオンラインでは対戦して誰かに勝つと、つまり順位が上回るとライバルが乗っていたマシンのグミを一つずつもらえます。ゴールすると下位の人から。
Is this the equivalent of like the tags in Ultimate? Or do they actually do something?
オンラインしない人のために一人用でも少しずつもらえることになっています。で、手に入れたグミは食べられはしませんが持ち運ぶことができます。
Of course you would say that.
グミを発射したり。
Okay, so there's a little mini game thing you can mess with, so it's not just like a counter like with the like the Smash tags where you get like a list of the tags. Like you've beaten this person online 50 times, you get like 50 tags, and that's kind of it. Like no, there's like something, there's like a little fun element to this. I think this is the Kirby Superstar music we're hearing right now. I couldn't tell you from which location, because I've never played the game, but I know this is from Kirby Superstar.
俺マシンを含むいろんなマシンを飾って楽しむことができます。ガレージには種類や広さもあったりして、パドックから人を招くこともできます。コレクション要素としてどうぞ。 まず今回の作曲家は酒井翔吾さんと
Those two are very notable names.
酒井さんは前作担当の音楽家。
He also composed for Melee. Like, a lot of the iconic music from Melee, that guy made, Shogo Sakai.
ブラやシンパルテラにも参加していただいてますね。
And the guy on the right, he has done a bunch of music for Smash. He did...
俺曲セレクトを実装しました。
So yeah, my music is literally the same layout. It's exactly the same with the slider and everything.
音楽登場確率を決められるもの。お好みでいじってみてください。前作の音楽でも走れてしまうし、おまけ曲も少しはあります。
And you get the remixes from Smash. I was wondering if that was going to be a thing or not. Like, I wondered if, like, the City Trial remix from Ultimate was going to be included. It probably is. I mean, if they're putting in the Meta Knight remix from Brawl, then they're going to put in, like, they'll put in the City Trial remix from Ultimate almost certainly.
確率で流れる裏曲を設定しています。今回の裏曲は登場シリーズが全て異なるというこだわりで作ってみました。任天堂ミュージックにも新たに曲を追加しましたので、お楽しみください。
So I guess they're kind of continuing the tradition of including basically Smash music. I mentioned that earlier, right? How, like, the original game... So yeah, you see this UI? This UI is like a fusion of Melee and Brawl. Okay, this is different. I was expecting it to look more like Ultimates. But it's cool that they're doing something different with it. It's not just a carbon copy of, like, Ultimate's main menu.
机上のアクリル板には項目のイメージや説明がありますから、困ったら見てもらえれば。
Because all the menu stuff we've seen so far has been very Ultimate. This is like the first thing we've seen. It's like, oh, this is completely different than Ultimate. I mean, I'm glad it is. It looks cool. It looks nice. They got that little Kirby thing that, like, flies around when you select stuff. Yeah, that's cool. The Smash 64 desk.
そしてコレクションには収集要素が詰まっています。なお ZL ボタンを押すといつでもクリアチェッカーが出るようにしました。これは大事ですからね。いつでも気軽に ZL ということで、それと各主要モードの入り口では Y ボタンを押すと遊び方ムービーを確認できます。初プレイのお客と遊ぶときや久々のプレイで遊び方を忘れた場合にもどうぞ。スティックの上下入れ替え、ボタン入れ替えなどが自由にできます。
Did we just see a test room? Yeah, look at that. It's like a test room. It's like a dev test room with, like, the little checkerboard pattern. So yeah, you can change the buttons. Again, just like a certain other game. Not that it matters as much in this game, of course, but still. So yeah, like, basically every option that you would expect from Smash is in this game. Basically, every, like, little option. Like, my music is here. Like, all the other, like, options you basically would expect are here. Like, it's all in this game.
だけど今回どうしても頑張ってみたかった機能があります。
Okay.
今回は画面酔い対策にも力を入れています。
Wait, didn't we see this
と
earlier?
にかく実際には画面が揺れてい
Or
ない
is this
印象
different?
を醸し出すため邪魔なものをいっぱい表示したりとか、画角を変えられたりとか、カメラの設定と併用し合うものを探してみてください。
You can change the FOV.
なお一つ一つセットするのが面
You,
倒な方は
that's actually very surprising.
セットで選ぶこともできます。
Never thought I would see the day where a Nintendo game would let you change the FOV. Or POV or whatever, or at least...
それでも体質などによりますからね。お好みでどうぞ。なおゲーム中 R スティックでカメラを動かせますが、 ガチャガチャと対応しないことをお勧めします。酔いやすくなりますので。カービーのエアライダーのアミーボが
Yeah, we saw this in the September direct, I should say.
これスマブラカービーのアミーボですが、
I have that amiibo from launch, even November 2014. Still have it.
サイズが違いますね。
Sitting on my shelf right over there.
こっちにバンダのワドルディも出しちゃいますけど、
Obviously, these ones are way more complex than that
そ
is.
してこのように
Although you will be paying a pretty penny. I think I remember when these were announced in the September direct, people kind of flipped out when they saw the
マ
prices.
シンとライダーの組み合わせがゲーム中に登場し、
But yeah, the whole FP thing that's continuing over from Smash. We already knew that, I think we already knew that though.
なお
So same type
海
deal.
にいた瀬戸物のカービ
Honors
ィも
could do this.
アミーボを組み込ませると切り替えることができます。
For what it's worth, the only game I could think of where I would actually really want an FOV slider would be like Splatoon, probably, just because, you know, it's a shooter. It doesn't need one, it's fine as is. But it's like the only one I could really think of where I would want an FOV slider. But it's just interesting that this game of all games is the one that implements it.
あるのです。
Oh boy, people are gonna be bankrupting themselves getting all those. They do look nice. They're like the most complex amiibos we've ever had. But, yeah. That DDD one is pretty big, especially. Got 4 minutes left? So we should be nearing the end here.
これは驚き。こんな時代が来るとは前作制作時には考えつかなかったですけれども。
When working on the previous game.
なお、
You meant
プッ
that.
シュすると形態が変わるんですが、付け替えて楽しむこともできます。これが設置形態。こうしてこうすると、これが滑走形態。ホバーで走るんですね。 そろそろ今回の映像も終わりに近づいていますが、序盤でご紹介したロードトリップ、カービィもデデデもワドルディもスターマンもこぞって旅を始めるのですが、なんでここで旅立ちのきっかけとなる
Oh,
オ
so
ープニング
we're doing the World of Light thing where we get to see the whole opening cutscene, okay? We saw part of this last time around, I think.
Out of the sky, air ride machines rained down like shooting stars.
It has narration.
All shapes and sizes, but with no ability to move on their own. However,
Up there's the reveal trailer.
shared their will. The engines sprang to life, and they were able to move with incredible speed. These individuals were called riders.
Wait, is this not the opening?
Soon, vehicle and rider pairs were a common sight, partnering up for every
Okay, well, you can see the CG spliced in there.
One day, some riders noticed their vehicles were acting strange.
It's always nice to see the CG.
Somewhere far away. If
The
you
guys at Digital Frontier have done a really good job on the CG for so many years. Like, look how good that looks. Like, look how good these look, right? These are Smash quality cutscenes. Because it's from the same studio, obviously. We don't actually know that yet, but I mean, come on, it's obviously Digital Frontier. That's the guys who did the Smash 4 and Ultimate cutscenes.
エアライドマシンってこんな感じで生まれていたの？
So I don't think that was really an intro per se.
カービィがワープスターを
At least not in the way that, like, you know, the don't let a single one get away, you know, that was like a proper, like, opening, more or less. That wasn't really an opening, that was more like an overview.
あたかも天下スパークのように
But anyway.
相手のキックのように意志をつぎ込んでいたわけです。意味があったんですね。マシンとライダーが一つになって繰り広げられるちょっと変わった旅路。誰もが主役です。大王も騎士もコックも きの子も誰でも最終地点に向かうことができます。これは反生命体ゾラ。意志を持つけど動けず、気が遠くなるほどの長い時間を過ごしたゾラの願いを中心として運命が動きます。お後は本編をお楽しみに。
See what that's all
エ
about.
アライダーのいろいろご紹介してきました。ボリュームでかいな。
Yeah, there was a lot.
私のチャンネルと
I think that he definitely justified the second presentation without question. That was a pretty good presentation. I think that was better than the first presentation, honestly.
今回このゲームを制作することになったのはやはりファンの熱い声援が大きかったのだろうと思います。ゲームを作るのには時間もコストもかかりますから必ずしも叶うとは限りません。そんな中前作が支持されたこともそれにより多くの人の力により今作を作り得たことも感謝しております。なお DLC の販売は予定して
Okay, that's the one other question I wanted to know.
シリーズを重ねるつもりもあります。
Okay, so this is the game. Okay. Now I was kind of like back and forth. I thought there was a chance.
発売日の更新により実装される要素もあるのでパッケージ版を入手したらすぐにオンラインアップデートなどを
Of course, you know.
ぜひ楽しんでください。それでは。
Oh, Fountain of Dreams, baby. Some like Death Star type thing. Okay, I was wondering if this was going to be a thing. I was wondering. I was also back and forth on whether or not this was going to be a thing or not. Yes, we are almost certainly going to stream at least one of those. I don't know if we're going to do all three. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to do all three, but we're definitely doing at least one of those. I was wondering if they were going to do some kind of demo. I was kind of back and forth on would it be an online thing or would it just be a regular demo? They're doing in like a, a Splatfest type deal. Yeah, we're definitely going to do that. We're going to do at least one of those. What did it say, like November 3rd, whatever? Yeah. So, alrighty then. So that was the presentation. That was a pretty good presentation. I have no complaints with it at all. That's honestly probably one of the best directs we've had, like, probably in a while, honestly. Like, that was actually a really solid direct. It did not drag at all. It had a lot of content in it. It felt like there was always something around the corner. He didn't really hold on to any one particular thing too long. That was a really good event, like, genuinely. So there is not going to be any DLC. There's not going to be any updates. The game, like, this is the game. And that's fine. That's fine. The game sure looks like it's got enough stuff as is. But that was one thing I was curious about. Because, obviously, if this game was going to get any kind of post-release support, then that would theoretically affect Smash 6. But since there's not going to be a post-release window, like, this is the game will come out and it'll probably get some, minor bug fixes and balance updates and stuff. But essentially, but they're not going to be adding anything big to it, right? That is the game. There's not going to be a pass or anything like that. That is the game. And that means that theoretically, they can go right from this to Smash 6 and without any like overhead in between. Now, to be fair, they're probably already working on it. but I'm just saying. But yeah, so that is definitely one thing I was very curious about. See, Sakurai told us that this game is not getting DLC before Nintendo would tell us if Mario Kart's getting DLC at all. So, game looks cool. I am almost certainly going to get it. I was kind of like, I'll probably end up getting it, but we'll see how I feel about it as we get closer. At least as of this particular moment, I'm definitely feeling like, yeah, I'm probably gonna get it. Like I'm like 75% certain to get it. I'm kind of curious to see how it'll kind of hold up in the long run, but it looks fun. And I mean, it's the next game in his line, so I'm pretty much obligated to be there no matter what anyway. So yeah. Oh, I completely forgot this. So you feel like adding engines to Kirby's Warp Star would make it slower because you can outspeed Galeem already. But it's a reference to the villain in the Kirby 3DS game. Planet Robobot, I assume. That's the one that everyone talks about. I know there's Triple Deluxe, but that one kind of gets thrown to the wayside. Planet Robobot is the one I always hear people talk about. Because that looks like a character that would be from that game, just based off the title. Yeah, so let me rewind real quick. Let's rewind to that part where he showed the date, the online date. I want to see it again. Yeah, it's cool that we got that like CG render of Fountain of Dreams. That's neat. But where was it? I just want to see the dates again real quick. November 8th, 9th, 15th, 16th. Okay. 12 a.m. to 6 a.m., 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., 7. Okay, so there's a lot of flexible times in this. Obviously, I'm not going to do any of the ones that are like 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. We will almost certainly do one that it's probably like either of these two. The ones that are 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. We'll probably do these two. Probably both of them. I won't do this one. Well, actually, no. Probably not either of these. Definitely not these. But these middle ones, we'll do the middle ones. That's a reasonable time. That's a normal time. So we will definitely be doing that when that happens. So yeah. That's pretty much it. I don't have anything else to add. That was good. Trying to think if there's anything else I can really add real quick. Is there any other thing I can really say? Just in general, even. Oh, we didn't get a reveal of who the singer is. We didn't get a reveal of who the singer is. They mentioned they showed off like, oh, here's the Japanese male and female like announcers. Like they showed that, and they showed like that list of like, here's all the languages. We never got like who is the person singing the theme. We don't know that yet. Again, I think it'd be neat, even though I'm kind of like 50-50 if it's actually her or not. It'd be kind of neat just for synergy's sake if they got Abby Trott again, who did Lifelight in the English version. But realistically, it's probably someone completely different. It probably is, and that's not a problem or anything. I mean, I like the new song. That's honestly better than I mean, I like Lifelight. I do like Lifelight, but I do like this new song even more. I think the lyrics are better. I feel at the very least. But anyway, so I guess we'll have to wait until the game comes out. And we look at the credits and we'll find out. Amiibo prices. We already know what the prices for at least like those first two are. I forget what the exact price is, but they're like they're up there. Like they are the most expensive Amiibo we've ever had, which isn't surprising considering what they are. But I forget what the exact price is. But it's like at least 30. probably more like 40. I don't actually remember what the price is, but it's up there. Like you're paying like this is not a $15 thing. No. These are big bucks. I mean, they look like they're going to be worth that money, but they are going to be a lot, which is why I said earlier that, oh yeah, you're going to bankrupt yourself buying like all 5 of those, as nice as they are. But yeah. Yeah, is there anything else for me to add? I don't think there really is, at least for this. I've pretty much said what I have to say about it. But yeah, I mean, I know I said this earlier, but this game really does look like it's going to just obsolete the original. Pretty much. Outside of like nostalgia, there is no reason to play the original. Everything from the original is in this game and more. There is no reason to play the original. I mean, I'm sure that there will be something that's in the original. It probably exists. Some little tiny thing. Maybe there's like one vehicle that's not in it, but it obsoletes the original. It obsoletes the original. Which is good for people like me that haven't played the original. Because now my incentive, because I was thinking of playing the original before the new one came out, because I hadn't played it before. Now I'm not sure if I'm gonna even bother with that. 'Cause it's like, well, if the new one just obsoletes it, then like I'll just wait for the new one. Yeah, I'm very happy that we have Smash remixes in there. Again, we saw the DDD theme is in there. We heard the Meta Knight theme. Did we hear the Meta Knight theme? I don't know if we did. I'm sure it's in there. Basically, every like popular Kirby remix is probably going to be in that game. And again, I'm guessing that the City Trial remix from Ultimate is in there as well. Now, again, they mentioned the 2 composers, Sakai and the other person. So, like I said, Sakai, he's been at HAL for a long time, and he was like one of the main composers of Melee. So, like all the iconic Melee music is like from that guy, basically. I mean, I don't want to say it's all on him, but like he composed like at least most of the music that I can think of, like the menu theme, Battlefield, FD, like all of like the Melee original music, as well as like a good amount of the remixes he did. He also worked on Brawl and some of the games after that, but it's mainly Melee. That's kind of what his main claim to fame is, at least for me. But he's also worked on a bunch of the Kirby games and stuff, of course. And then the other person, he did the Meta Knight remix in Brawl, and he did the City Trial remix in Ultimate, as well as a bunch of other remixes of just other tracks in Smash that I can't think of any. I know we did a Mega Man remix. I know we did a Mega Man remix in either Smash 4 or Ultimate, maybe both. Is there another one? I can't think of any other remixes off the top of my head. But the point is, he's done a bunch. He's done his share. Okay, I think we really have said all there is to really say at this point. 7:13 a.m. here on the West Coast, and of course, I'm going to be going to bed after this. So, yeah. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you Antonio and Valentine for being here. It's always a pleasure. It's always fun to talk with you guys. And yeah, so stay tuned for when that test happens. We're going to be streaming that. Outside of that, though, I mean, I would like to do Galaxy 2 at some point, but I'm not sure when that's going to happen. I'm kind of like still deciding what I want to do with that. Otherwise, as far as other stuff, though, I don't have anything specifically right now. I was going to do a video on Windows 10, because, of course, Windows 10 went EOL, at least generally, about a week ago. I was going to do a discussion video for that. In fact, I tried recording it a couple of times, but it just wasn't really working out. And I was like, you know what? No, this isn't going to work out. But I was going to do a video actually for the 10-year anniversary in July. But eventually it was like, I may as well just wait for the EOL in October. So I tried, didn't really work out, so obviously never ended up getting finished in any capacity. But yeah, I don't know, in terms of like normal video stuff, I mean, again, I was gonna do that. Didn't really work out at this point. Obviously, I'm not gonna really bother because like that kind of was like you either put it out on the 10-year anniversary or you put it out on the EOL. Now there's like no point in doing it. I mean, unless I want to wait until like next year for the ESU deadline, but that's a whole other can of worms. But in terms of just stuff for the near-term future, we're gonna do the Kirby streams. We're gonna do the Air Rider streams. We're gonna at least do that bare minimum. That, and obviously when the Game Awards happen in December, we're obviously gonna do that. But aside from that, I don't really have anything else, at least overtly planned as far as streams are concerned. Again, Galaxy 2 is something I'd like to do, but I'm still kind of thinking how I'm going to handle that. And as for videos, well, again, I know I say this all the time, but I'm always thinking about video ideas, videos I want to do. And sometimes I'll try and record them, and then I'm like, no, this isn't really working out, or whatever, but that's enough. Again, thank you all for watching, and with that being said, this is Logan59XP, and I'll see you guys next time.